Oh yeah. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Ever since the show came out, right? And I found out that they were making this. I immediately pre-ordered. I have. Speaking of it, I have the old, static prop of the 2000. And oddly enough, I actually prefer this design because it's just a bit of a bulkier, old school design. It seems much more like a prototype thing. It really dives into that retro feel. This is admittedly more of a clean, sleek, improved design, but that makes sense. Designs are meant to improve over time. It's only natural. But I do love this so much because this one is an actual working one. It doesn't require any, custom built electronic kits like you might have to for that one. And, well, that's one thing I'm not incredibly strong on is, building from scratch electronics and stuff. So something like this is perfect. But I thought I would just kind of show the functionality of this and give my general thoughts. Let's get the general thoughts out of the way. I think it's pretty good. It feels solid, and I like how it has interactability. Interactability? You know what I mean. Overall, I think it's a good product. It is an over-glorified toy at the end of the day. Let's not beat around the bush. But it's a very good prop for a cosplay, for a costume, whatever. And the only things I would have to say that I have any slight issues with is the radio. The radio, while it's neat that you have your in-universe radio, right? So we're going to use, you have the dial here, right? And that goes to your different menus. Then this basically is a scroll wheel on the side. See if you can see that. Yeah, you got a little scroll wheel on the side. That basically allows you to, select all your different options or scroll through different things. Like on the stat menu, you can go from perfectly healthy. I don't know how well I can focus in on that. But you can scroll it all the way down to being a irradiated zombie. A ghoul, basically. So, pretty nice. So you have all those little selectors. Even on this, right, you can select a rad meter. And you can basically toggle it down or all the way up. So that's pretty cool. What else? But yes, back to the radio. My only gripe would be the radio receiver is not really the greatest. You really have to be near a window or outside. It does go in and out quite a bit with the real life radio, because you can actually tune it to your local FM radio station, listen to real world music, that sort of thing. So it's a bit iffy on the radio receiver. What else? Maybe, again, there may be design choices for this. That's valid. Personal opinion, I guess you could say, is there should have been a bit more weight on this side of the gauntlet. Keep it a bit more balanced, because it's very front heavy when you're trying to maybe try to put it on and balance it and everything. It's a bit awkward. I don't know how that would work out. At first I thought it was kind of a bad thing because, it's kind of cheap that you can just take the padding right out of the glove. They're just pads. However, it is effective because you can access the battery in the back. So on the screen side in the back is this battery. you have a tiny little reset button there, and you can also use a little jeweler screwdriver to take this out. The reason I bring this up is the other issue I had with it. I've had this for maybe a week now, okay? And let me put that in sleep mode. I had it for about a week, and within 2 days, despite it only sitting on, my shelf, it seemed to die. And I mean die. Not just the battery ran out, but I had it plugged. I plugged it back into the charger for several hours, and it seemed to be completely bricked and just dead. So I played around with it, checked, did I break it? Did I drop it? Did I rip the cord out accidentally? This little cord here, right? In the back, what you would normally, in the game, what you would plug into to try and open the vault door, right? That little thing is actually your charging port. Plug that in to charge it or to hook it up to your computer. Yes, you can hook this up to your computer to update the operating system and that sort of thing, which is pretty neat, because if they ever come out with maybe some bonus features, then you can actually update it that way. So anyway, back to the original subject. I was checking around, and I eventually even looked up this problem, and for once in its existence, Reddit was useful. Let's see. Because there were people on there who were basically just asking, hey, how do I fix this? I have this problem where it's making like dull, beeping, buzzing noises, or it seems to be completely dead even though it's brand new. And apparently if you hit the reset button, or if you, with a pair of pliers, get a pair of needle nose, if you take the battery out and then just plug it back in, so like a hard reset, it completely fixes the power issue. It turns back on, works like a charm. And it worked, obviously, because I'm able to turn back on. Anyway, so a few other things. Down here, you can use this to kind of tune your radio, but up here, I found is much more effective. And at the same time, you have your main menu with like the stat, inventory, and everything. This scrolls through your sub menu, right? So underneath, like here, we're in data, and underneath you have clock, stats, and maintenance. That goes through your sub menus. What else? This bottom dial is your volume. Press that to power on or go to sleep mode. Hold it for a hard turn off and hard turn on. This top button is the flashlight, so let's just demonstrate that. Pretty nice. You're able to actually properly set the time. Yes, it is 7:14 right now. I have mine on a 24-hour setting. Let's see. In the data section with maintenance, you're able to set these things. So you'll set the date and time. You can set an actual alarm. I set mine for 6:15. Same as my actual old little alarm clock up there, and then the 5 different alarms on my phone. So you can actually set a useful thing on here. You can change your time zones and brightnesses and display timeouts, all these little things, which is pretty nice. But outside of that, there's not too much else. And again, you can scroll through all the different things. So in your map, use the side scroll to do different options. There's just a lot of little things you can play around with, and I think that is the key selling point of this. So, while it is simple, it is quite effective. And there is my phone going off again. Yeah, you can adjust all your volumes. Yeah. What's this one? Ah, so in the data section with stats, go to data stats and you can then do the thing with this. Name your location, chip, vault door remote access, marriage application approved. Damn, I got married in gets married in game before real life. A doors open command, doors closing command, tracking chip removed. And that's just one subtab. So you can definitely expect that this is going to be a key feature in any future Fallout cosplays that I do, or Fallout inspired cosplays, because I'm not gonna do a vault dweller every single time, you know what I mean? I'll keep this handy. And heck, I might even keep the other one around just as like an extra static prop. You know, have it hanging off in a bag or something. And be like, oh yeah, I use that for like spare parts, you know. Yeah. Well, I think that's about does it for this little review. But like I said, I'd give it a solid, 7 or 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's just really be careful with some of the power things, keep an eye on that. That way it doesn't completely die on you. And the radio, again, like I said earlier, this is a toy, so wouldn't expect the best receiver or anything, but still, it's mediocre. And I've heard other good things in general, I mean, especially right here, you can tell this is some solid built. These are some solid built pieces. So yeah, I think it was worth the money and worth the wait. And for anyone that else has it, let me know what you think, right? Or what else you've discovered on there, because I'm still tinkering around with it as we speak. I hope you enjoyed that, right? And I don't know what I'm going to do in the next video. We'll figure it out as we go along. It might take a bit, though, because I'm going to be playing with that too much. In fact, comparing it to the 2000 version, even though, of course, that's a different level with all the actual working electronics, I wouldn't say the 2000 version is bad either. Definitely much bulkier. But it still has good playability with all the moving dials and little buttons you can press. And plus, it was definitely worth getting, as it was a nice thing that, took up time to build. Because this was not just a pre-sold kit. I mean, it was not a pre-built item. This was a kit, like, the ships and stuff that you had to actually put together. So that took up a pretty good amount of time getting all the little things figured out. I think I put up a video of that, didn't I? I can't remember. I'll have to look back at that. See, it shows how long it's been since I've really done this. Well, I will look into that. But I do hope you enjoyed the review of the 3000 Mark V. Is that the 3000? Yes, it's the 3000. Mark V, right? Yeah, 3000 Mark V. It's odd, a bit ironic, that the sort of flagship item, the crown jewel item from that show, is better than the show itself. don't get me wrong. I thought the show was okay. Again, it's kind of like this. It's okay. It just could be better. Let's be honest. But who knows? Only time will tell if they'll make a good season 2, you know? Y'all have a good night. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.